Hey, well, all right there. Who'll give me 10? Need 10, need 10, got 10. Who'll give me 20? Bid the 20, with the 20, got 20. Sold to you. Hi everyone, and welcome to the Soccer Collectible Show, the channel for the history and value of soccer memorabilia. My name is Jonathan Castner. I'm an appraiser with National Appraisal Consultants, and I'm the owner of Touchline Appraisals, the appraisal firm devoted specifically to the value of soccer memorabilia. Just in case you haven't figured out from our intro, this episode we're going to be looking at soccer memorabilia at auction. But if you haven't done so already, go ahead and click the subscribe button below. So the first thing we should do is to define auction. What is an auction? Well, an auction is a seller of any type of good where the buyer determines the price, not the seller. So we know a lot of great auction houses, Heritage Auction, Sotheby's, Christie's, but even eBay is an online auction service. So because the buyer determines the price in an auction, we often have some very wide ranges of sales. Sometimes you might have an item sell very high or very low. It all depends on who's bidding. One thing to consider with auctions is that items are often sold as is. So with the case of soccer memorabilia, specifically match-worn shirts, they're sometimes sold without a COA and very little provenance. So with auctions, the buyer often assumes some level of risk for the items they're buying. With auctions, you have two major types, online and physical. In light of COVID-19, most auctions today are held online. I grew up in our family auction business, and I also work for an auction company, so I can tell you that inspection time is critical. If a buyer didn't notice a smudge on a painting or a crack on a piece of glass, that could be a potential problem. So you can just imagine that with online auctions, great listings and great photos are critical. You can find bargains at auction, but you can also find some pretty big sales too. According to its listing, this Ajax shirt was worn by Johan Cruyff in 1972 and sold for over $50,000 at auction in 2019. This rulebook from Sheffield Football Club sold for over £880,000 at auction in 2011. And this FA Cup final trophy recently sold for over £750,000 at auction. For items of a greater value, those that are signed, match-worn, or historically significant, an auction house can be the way to go. An auction house may charge a fee to the buyer, the seller, or both. eBay will charge the highest bidder 9% of the purchase price, or a maximum of $50. A traditional auction gallery will usually charge the seller a commission, around 20% of the sales price, while a buyer is often required to fork over the sale price, plus buyer's premium, 20 to as much as 30% of the sale, and any additional taxes or fees to the auction house. An auction house may argue that such fees are necessary. Valuable items need to be advertised, and movers, runners, clerks, and specialists, well, they need to be paid too. If you're a seller, you want to get the highest price. In many countries, the auction industry is regulated by a government entity. In America, auctioneers are often licensed by the state. An auction can also be a practical solution when a large group of items need to be sold quickly, such as in situations of death, divorce, or debt. So, if you're ever going to sell an item at an auction, or you want to buy an item, you should familiarize yourself with a few of these terms. First, we have a bid. A bid is an offer or agreement to purchase the item at a specific price. The winning bid is also referred to as the hammer price. Buyer's premium. Buyer's premium is a fee paid by the buyer to the auction house, usually a percentage of the winning bid. The winning bid, the buyer's premium, and any additional taxes add up to the total purchase price. Buyer's premium can be anywhere between 20 to 25%, and in some cases as much as 30%. Appraisers usually include buyer's premium as a part of the total sale in the comparable sales in an appraisal report. Clearance rate. A clearance rate is the percentage of items sold in an auction. Commission. A commission is a fee paid by the seller to the auction house, calculated as a percentage of each winning bid. A commission can be anywhere between 20 and 25%. A consignor. A consignor is the owner of the property until the item is purchased by a bidder. The hammer price. The hammer price is the announced price of a winning bid. The buyer is responsible for paying any additional fees and taxes on top of this amount. An increment. An increment is a minimum amount by which a new bid must exceed the previous bid. An auctioneer may decrease the increment when it appears that bidding on an item may stop, so as to get a higher hammer price. Alternatively, A bidder can bid at a smaller increment, which the auctioneer can accept or reject. A lot. A lot is either a single item being sold or a group of items that are being sold as one unit. A minimum bid. A minimum bid is the smallest opening bid that will be accepted. A minimum bid can be any amount. If necessary, the auctioneer can lower the minimum bid to create interest in the item, or the item will remain unsold. A minimum bid is often called a reserve bid. Outbid. Outbid basically means to just bid higher than another bidder. Opening bid. An opening bid is the first bid placed on a particular lot. The opening bid must be at least or higher than the minimum bid. A proxy bid or an absentee bid is a bid placed by an authorized representative of a bidder who is not physically present at the auction. Well, that just about does it for this episode. Do you have any collectibles you'd like to talk about? Any interesting stories you'd like to share? Email us at thesoccercollectibleshow, all one word, @gmail.com. Don't forget to click the subscribe button. Take care, everybody.